I have tested being a freelancer and I have also tested being an agency owner. Which is better? Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if this is your first time joining us, well, you're welcome. On this page you're going to be hearing undiluted story from my journey as a freelancer to an agency owner that has a business fully registered in both Nigeria and the United States. So today I'm going to be talking about my transition story. So I have tested being a freelancer and I have also tested being an agency owner. Which is better? Well, I'm just going to pour out my story and then it's all up to you. Well, it's my documentary. Okay. So it all started in 2022 when I picked up a course. Well, I've actually been an admin assistant for the longest. So I saw an ALS course. So yes, I'm an ALS alumni. If you are an ALS alumni, drop a comment. Let's say hi. 2022 when I took the course, and after then, I was job hunting. I wasn't actually actively looking for a role, but I think after I quit my full-time on-site role, I was like, you know what, I think I want to be present for myself. I want to be able to run a business on my own term, or not even a business. As at then, I wasn't thinking of a business. I just like wanted to get a skill or something. I want to get a job that will give me at least $1,000 a month. That was my goal. My eyes were not big as at that time. So in 2023 October, I started working and I started applying for jobs. I optimized my LinkedIn and I started applying. I got my first role from a UK based brand, where I was doing lead generation for them. At first it was actually an internship role. So while I was doing that, I got an inquiry. I created a new Instagram social media platforms where I was doing that. I was running it faceless. I was running the faceless social media account, and I got an inbound lead, someone from India. Yes, so it was a startup. And then he just sent me a message randomly that hey, he has a startup and he needs help with lead generation. First of all, lead generation was never my thing, but because I was looking for a job and I got that inquiry, why not when I can learn it? So it was like the pay is $1,000 plus commission, my dear. My head did me like in boom boom. I was like, sure, let's get started. But first of all, we have to sign a contract and everything. He said, yes. So we hopped on a call right immediately that same day. But he said that the first month is going to be a probation month, and then the second month he's going to start paying me plus the commission. I was like, fine. He said, we'll get 50 leads every day, send them emails and everything. I was like, fine. I was excited because it felt easy. But that was the hardest job I had ever done as a virtual assistant, because I would wake up as early as 8 a.m. and I'm getting leads, and he specifically instructed that we get the leads manually. So I was getting these leads, getting emails, session from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, based on the target audience they gave me. So I did this. I will wake up at 8 a.m. and then I'll shut down my laptop at 5 p.m. To even start with, I never even had money to get a laptop. So I had my iPhone, so I sold it to get a laptop for myself and a smaller iPhone. So let me say something here. If you are just starting out as a virtual assistant and you feel like you don't have the right equipment, maybe you might have something around you, that you could. Because right now I can afford anything I want. All right, so back to my story. So yes, I did that for the first month, and then the second month I was so eager because I was even borrowing money to get data, to get lights. That's like, it's more than a 9 to 5. Oh, this is 8 to 5. So on the second month, after everything, I was like, okay, it's time to pay me. I sent invoice. Oga said he went for a burial. I said, okay, let me first post this work first. He kept postponing me 1 week, 2 weeks, nothing. And before I know what was happening, I was ghosted. My God, that was the biggest slam of my life. Guy ghosted me. But then I think I wasn't angry. Do you understand? I just sat to myself. I was like, whoa, I just spent 2 months getting leads and pitching to someone for this startup. Do you know that I can actually start something for myself? And this leads, I'm going to collect it, and I'm going to still use the same process to do something for myself. I was like, okay, let's do something. So while I had my other freelance, just a bit here and there, $50 rule, do you understand? So I started out. I was like, oh, if I'm going to do something like this, I think I need to register a business. Like, do you understand? Let it be that it is a startup. So I found my way to CAC. I did it myself because I did not have money. I didn't. So someone lent me, I think it was about 20,000 naira then. So yes, I started my business, my current 5-figure USD business with just 20,000 naira. All thanks to my husband. So he gave me the money, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's start this. I was able to book call for this person, so I think I can still do some same thing for myself. So I did it. I registered the business, was building a community alongside. So I got some people that were actually willing to volunteer. And I was like, okay, let's start getting leads. Just be getting leads for me. And then, there was no proper structure. The structure we had then was just, get leads, reach out to them. I created a Gmail account. There was no money to do much stuff like that. So we started getting that. We started this in, I think, 2024 August. 2024 July, and we landed our first client in August. The day I got someone booked a call for, I did not even know. I just said, okay, let me just check my calendar and see. And I saw a call booked and the time had passed, but thank God it was still that same day. So I sent the person a message. I apologized. I was like, can we reschedule? And she was like, yes, let's reschedule. So we rescheduled that same day. I was so happy. So we had the call, and she was a personal stylist. She's still my client currently. So we had the call, and she was like, she has never had a virtual assistant before. She has a personal assistant, but I could tell her what I can do for her. So I did, and she was like, okay, no problem. She's ready to start. So I sent the contract, sent invoice, and I got a little bit ghosted. It was like, past trauma. But after like 3 weeks, I followed up, and she was like, oh, she's so sorry that she had something, and then she's going to start in September. So we officially started in September, and the rest, they said, is history. So yes, I think that's basically it. And then as regards to building my agency and putting a structure, truth is, I never knew what I was doing. I actually searched for mentors, people to guide me, to know what to put structures. Do you understand? But I didn't. So I was trying to figure things out myself, because not that I didn't see mentors. Do you understand? I wanted someone that is in Nigeria. I want someone that understands our culture, someone that is doing something that I want to build, because I was looking at getting just international clients. So the plan was, get the clients and then do the work myself. So I started it in September 2024. I was handling the clients. I had, as at 2025 February, I had about 4-5 clients, and it was becoming overwhelming. So I was like, okay, let me just have someone come around. And then I had my first assistant that was coming around. But after I gave birth, I felt like I needed more time for myself, because it was becoming very overwhelming. And then doing one of our code outreach, we had a client for the first time. That was like our highest ticket client as at then. We booked a call, and I already had a community that at first I never knew why I created a community. And then she was like, she needs a VA. And then I told myself, in my head, I was like, I don't think I can handle this full-time clients plus the 5 clients I have. No. So maybe I could just, assign someone, like merge 2 people, and then, talk about how we are going to do payment structure, and that was it. That was how that was how we were able to bet our structure. And from there I felt like, whoa, so we have a lot of Africans, why not just merge them and then leave off the profit? Do you understand? Give them a certain cut and then you leave off the profit. I was like, oh my god, this is something I can actually do and it can also free me up. And that was how we started growing in August. By the time we got to August 2025, we had grown so well. And then that was when I knew that we really needed to put a lot of structures in place. And then we started getting help. I paid for a mentorship, a US based anyways, because I still didn't find anyone in Nigeria. And the rest to say is history. So yes, that's how I started MavenAide. I'm saying this because I think there was an interview I was having with a VA and she was quite curious. She's the first person that asked me that, say, ma, how did you come up? How did you start your agency? And this is it. It was bettered from, is not a frustrated or a ghosted client, but I think I had to go through that experience to learn that you can actually get clients yourself. And this is what I tell everybody: you can get clients by from any means. Just be consistent, give yourself to it, either via cold emailing, either via LinkedIn. You guys know that I'm always big on LinkedIn, because from November 2025 till now, LinkedIn has tripled our annual revenue. It has tripled it. So that's why I'm actually big on it. So I have tested getting clients from cold emailing and I can highly recommend LinkedIn. So thank you and see you in our next page. If there's any topic actually you really want me to talk about, you can also drop it on the comment section. I'm going to be reading it and I'm going to speak on it maybe in our next shooting video. So see you guys. If this is your first time, still don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification. Bye.